Hello, everybody. It is CR Daredevil, and we are back with another episode in our How Would TEW Book the Monday Night Wars series. We are covering 1997 in this episode, and right off the bat, there's something very interesting. Something very interesting in the wrestling world, and I'm going to show it right here. So as you see, WWF still number 1, WCW still number 2, All Japan still number 3. Then somebody jumped up into number 4. The USWA of all companies jumped up into the 4th spot. The United States Wrestling Association jumped into the 4th spot. No idea why, but they did. Jerry Jarrett is the owner and booker because Jerry Lawler was the booker and then he stepped down for some reason. They have Steve Austin there. They have Jerry Lawler, the reigning USWA World Heavyweight Champion Dean Malenko, Tito Santana, and Jim Duggan. So, for some reason, the USWA is the 4th most popular company in the world at this point. Really weird. CMLL is 5th and New Japan is 6th, and kind of goes from there, but no idea why USWA made that big of a jump. I don't know. And by the way, we'll look into the Steve Austin thing in a little bit because that one is also a little borked as well. Or at least not borked, but it's a little weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. But we're going to jump over to the main screen because we are going to obviously look first at the awards won for the year of 1997. We're going to go from the bottom to the top to keep from, just to build that suspense. So referee of the year went to Earl Hebner. First time ever he was the referee of the year. Earl Hebner, working for WWF still. Extended his deal twice with the WWF at this point. Good for him. Color commentator of the year, Jim Cornette. Not that I would necessarily agree with it, but sure, why not? He's still the owner and booker of SMW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and he's still working for the WWF at this point. No recent news headlines. Announcer of the year, Mike Tenay. Let's go. Mike Tenay winning Announcer of the Year in 1997. Good stuff. WCW extended his deal with them. He's making $38K a month from WCW at this point. I'm not sure if he's the main announcer, but he might be. Good job, Mike Tenay. Manager of the Year, Dusty Rhodes. I don't know why Dusty Rhodes is the manager. Who is he managing? He might be a manager simply because he has the manager ticked, like the manager role ticked. I might have to get rid of that because I don't think he's probably wrestling anybody or managing anybody at this point, but he could be. I don't know. He could be managing somebody, I guess. But Dusty Rhodes, Manager of the Year. Independent Wrestler of the Year, Steve Austin. Yes. Although that says unsurprisingly, it is very surprising. For some reason, in this save right now, no idea why, but for some reason in the save right now, it is 1998, and WWF has not hired Steve Austin. Now, granted, in this, he has a strong dislike of Eric Bischoff, so he's not going back to WCW. Not at this point in time. But for some reason, WWF has just not hired him. No idea why. If you look at his news headlines, it's not like he had a scandal or anything like that. His popularity has been growing in certain areas, but not in all areas. Because I think where he's working, they don't have coverage in all those areas. Like they don't have coverage in the Southwest and the Midwest and all that. But he's still got popularity, all like pretty good popularity. I have no idea why WWF refuses to hire him. but they just haven't yet. So because of that, Steve Austin, who, one of the biggest stars of the 90s in this whole save, is currently working in ECW, where he's the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. He's working in USWA, and he's working in WWC. Again, no idea why, but sure, why not? Match history. He had 61 wins and 27 losses last year. So he's doing a lot of stuff. He's wrestling a lot of matches. But no idea why he is he hasn't been picked up by WWF yet. His highest rated match was a 91, in which he lost to Jeff Jarrett at High Voltage 3, which took place in September. And he's got an 80 in-ring performance right now, too. And he still is not in WWF yet. So I don't know. I do not know. But whatever. We're getting to see a very weird alternate universe where Steve Austin does not go to WWF after being fired from WCW. He instead stays in ECW, gets hired on by a couple of other smaller promotions, and just becomes a star outside of it. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to get hired in the near future, but there's that. No idea why. So because of this, he obviously does not go to the WWF, although I don't know why the $1 Million Championship is on there. $1 Million Championship should not be on there because he didn't win it at this point. I think that was glitched on there. I think it was kind of automatically set on there. But he was, since he left, he won the WWC World Tag Team Championship in February of 96 and held it until May of 96. And then he won his first ECW World title in January of 96 and held it until August with 7 defenses. And now he's in his second reign, where he's held it for about 11 months. So there's that. Sure, why not? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know why he's there. Why he's not in WWF at this point. I mean, you can see his matches there. They're really high quality matches, but he just, for some reason, is just not there. I don't know, whatever. Most Improved Company of the Year. ECWA. Surprisingly not USWA. The East Coast Wrestling Association is up to 15th in the world right now. Jim Kettner is the owner. Dutch Mantel is the booker. But they're getting there. They are getting there. They are 15th in popularity, 15th in money. Dutch Mantel also wrestling for them, as he is co-holder of the tag team titles there. Honky Tonk Man is the current heavyweight champion there. This is at the start of the 1998, by the way. Robert Gibson, Dan Severn, and Ricky Morton all there right now. So that's interesting. Yeah. They're apparently the biggest company so far. So there's that for them. Or Most Improved Company, that is, sorry. Female Wrestler of the Year in 1998 is Kyoko Inoue. Winning it for the second time. I believe back-to-back years. I think she won it last year, too. She's working in CMLL exclusively right now, despite the fact that she got injured twice. You see that there. She got hired by CMLL exclusively. She's been working for them the whole time. She got injured. That was in 96, and then she did get injured with an abdominal tear in 97. But she's the Female Wrestler of the Year right now. So good for her. Match history eyes for 97. Damn. She's putting on some amazing matches. She's had an average rating of 73. That's a hell of a performance in 1997. Huh. Well, there you go. Absolutely rocking it in the women's division. She's had 133 matches. She has had 133 matches and she's won 103 of them. She's only lost 30 times. And from the look of it, this La Dimbolica is the one who's defeated her probably all those 30 times. It seems like every single time she wins every single match except for when she challenges for the CMLL Women's World Title, which the La Diabolica wins every single time based off of what I'm seeing here. So there's that. Not sure why she can beat everybody except for that person, but sure, why not? Veteran Wrestler of the Year, Ric Flair. Third time as the award winner. Ric Flair, of course, still working in WCW. Quick look at his title history. We'll kind of look at 1997 specifically to see if he's done anything. We'll look at the championships later on, but World War III. Ric Flair won the World War III in 2 straight years. He won it in 96 and he won it in 97. So Ric Flair, the greatest battle royal person ever. That's the only thing he won. No other championships in 1997 other than the World War III. So there's that apparently. His popularity continues to, actually it stayed the same for most of 97 until it slightly started going up recently. About the time he won the World War III Battle Royal. So there's that. Let's look at his match history real quick. He only had 28 matches last year. And he was 22-5-1. The last time he lost was at Road Wild in 97, which he lost the WCW World Title match to Hulk Hogan. Otherwise, yeah, some other stuff before that. He's got an average rating of 91. He had a 100 rated matchup in 97 when he defeated Brian Pillman in January at the WCW New Japan Super Show, which I guaranteed was not a Super Show. But he had a 100 rated matchup, so there's that for him. Pretty good stuff there. Young Wrestler of the Year. Super Crazy is the Young Wrestler of the Year. He's working in CMLL right now. 71 average rating for match rating. He's had an 89 rated matchup last year as well. Also, he is definitely a young boy because he has wrestled 174 matches. He wrestled 174 matches in 1 year. Them CMLL guys, they work overtime. And he only won 72 of those 174 matches, so there's that, I guess. But star in the making, despite having no championships. He's a star in the making in there. We'll look at his, Mexico, slight increase in popularity. Not by much, but slight. So, good job. Super Crazy. Show of the Year. April's In Your House by the WWF. Should be able to go look at the event itself. We'll do that really quick. So, that show got a 96. It was main evented by Bret Hart defeating Shawn Michaels to retain the WWF Championship, as well as The Undertaker and Psycho Sid teaming up to defeat Diesel and Owen Hart. The Trappers defeated Killer Thriller by DQ in a match that had been for the tag team titles. Good luck trying to figure out which team is which. Let's see. Road Warrior Hawk. Road Warrior Hawk and 1-2-3 Kid were the champions in that matchup. So apparently Road Warrior Hawk said, you know what, you don't need to bring Road Warrior Emerald back. I'm just going to team up with the 1-2-3 Kid, and we're going to win the tag team titles 3 different times in a year's time. Well, a little over a year's time. So Road Warrior Hawk and the 1-2-3 Kid, known as the Trappers, defeated Davey Boy Smith and Eddie Guerrero, known as Killer Thriller, by DQ in a match that had been for the tag team titles. Actually, wait, I take that back. Hold on a second. Okay, so they were the Trappers. Okay. Wanted to make sure because technically Killer Thriller could have been them and they still could have retained the title, so. But, yeah, so the Trappers, known as Road Warrior Hawk and 123 Kid, defeated the British Bulldog and Eddie Guerrero, known as Killer Thriller. So that's something. This is certainly a card. They had a women's I Quit match on this card between Akira Hokuto and Terry Power in 1997. That would have been interesting, actually. They had 3 women's matches on this card, including Tsuko Mita defeating Alundra Blaze for the women's championship. And they had a 4th women's match on the pre-show. So there's that. It was a very, very interesting show for that one there. We'll look at some of the other stuff in the near future, or here in a little bit. Match of the year went to Ric Flair and Brian Pillman, the match we already saw. The 100 rated matchup. So we don't need to look into that one. Tag team of the year went to Killer Thriller, Eddie Guerrero and Davey Boy Smith. So I guess I could have just waited a couple and then seen what that team was. Eddie Guerrero and Davey Boy Smith, Killer Thriller. One-time tag team champions. That's it. But for some reason, they got the tag team of the year award over the team that had the belts for 3 times. So there's that, I suppose. I'm guessing it's probably because of match ratings. Let's see if I do this. So, holy cow. Okay, so one of these is the Royal Rumble, which is actually the lowest rating. That's kind of funny. So everything else has had Killer Thriller. Oh, wait, no, I guess there was a couple matches where Eddie Guerrero and British Bulldog were fighting each other, which, slight spoiler there. But damn, that's why they're the tag team champions, because they were just absolutely killing it with these matches. They had like, they had 2 different 99 rated matches, both against Diesel and Bret Hart, and a 98 rated matchup against Diesel and Bret Hart. Interesting. So there's your tag team of the year. Company of the year, the WWF. Number 1 company in the world right now. They remain the top company, the company of the year. We'll look at that really quick, even though, well, we'll save that actually, because we're going to look at it a little bit more in depth at that point anyway. And Wrestler of the Year, none other than Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret Hart, still working for the WWF at this point, has not left, so the screw job never happened in this universe, because he's still there as of the start of 1998. Worked in 49 matches last year, and my God, his lowest rated matchup was a 92. In fact, how did Flair and Pillman get the match of the year candidate when Bret had 3 different 100? No, oh my God. Bret had 7, 8. He had 9 different 100 rated matches last year. How in the hell was Flair and Pillman the one that they chose over these other 9 rated matches? That's crazy. That's crazy. That is honestly crazy. Bret Hart's lowest rating matchup was a 92, in which him and Diesel defeated Psycho Sid and Ahmed Johnson. That's definitely saying something about being able to carry him. There is a billion 99 rated matches on this thing. So Bret Hart is just absolutely the number 1 wrestler in the world right now in this save. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And his popularity is up at a 95 level. Good Lord, that popularity is insane everywhere. Holy cow. I mean, America has slightly slipped from the start of 97. Canada has slightly gone down. Mexico's gone up. The British Isles have slightly gone up. Japan's stayed the same. Europe has shot up. That's crazy. That is truly crazy there. Any championships at all? He won the WWF Championship from March of 97 to September of 97 and had 13 defenses with it. That's his only championship he's held all year. So, good for you, Bret Hart. All right. Let us look specifically at the Monday Night Wars. We're going to start off with WCW because they're the ones that are losing the Monday Night Wars still right at this point in time. So they're ranked second in the world still. They have $85 million, though, because the game just really isn't spending much in the way of money at this point. They also have absolutely terrible merchandise sales, or merchandising. They're currently only running $5,000 for merchandise costs, or for running costs of merchandising. So they're not making much of anything for merchandise at this point. But we'll tour it real quick. We've got Ric Flair, Hogan, Savage, Warrior, and Scott Hall as the top 5 in WCW at this point in time. They have 3 TV shows on air. Do they still have Main Event, Nitro, and Saturday Night? Yep. All right. There's that, I guess. Look at championships real quick. So the U.S. title currently belongs to Dean Malenko. In 97, Ron Simmons held it until Dean Malenko won it. Then Road Warrior Animal won the belt. So that's why Hawk is not with Animal in WWF, because Animal's in WCW still. And then after that, Chris Adams won it. Gentleman Chris Adams won a championship in 1997 at a major company. That is certainly something right there. And then Dean Malenko won the championship back. Tag team titles currently belonging to the Nasty Boys, who have just been going back and forth with the Blue Bloods all year. Blue Bloods had it, then the Nasty Boys, then the Blue Bloods, and now the Nasty Boys again. So just going back and forth with them. That is your tag team division in WCW at this point, apparently. Television champion, Chicky Star. Huh. Chicky Star, currently the WCW World Television Champion. That is something. Let's see here. Brian Adams had that championship at the start of 97. Actually won it had it in week 1, and then lost it the very first week of 97 to Cold Scorpio. Conan then won it for the second time. And then Steve Williams won it. Then Jim Neidhart won the WCW Television Champion at one point in time. Then Disco Inferno had it for almost 2 months. And then Chicky Star won it. So there's that. World War III, as we saw, won by Ric Flair. World Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan. Pretty simple there. Luger held it until July of 97, which is a very impressive run for him, honestly. That's a 7-month reign for him. And then he dropped it to Hogan, who's held it ever since. We'll look at Hogan's defenses, though, real quick of it. So Hogan defeated Luger in the cage to win it. Then he defeated Vader. He defeated Flair. He defeated Dean Malenko and Lex Luger. He defeated Road Warrior Animal, Scott Hall, and the Giant. Then he defeated the Taskmaster. Taskmaster apparently still wrestling in 97. Then he defeated Vader again. Then he defeated Warrior and Steve Williams. And then he defeated Luger at Starrcade to retain it. So there's that. I just want to see. Yep, that's what I got. That's basically what I thought. So Dungeon of Doom is still around with Taskmaster, Vader, Meng, and the Master. The Blue Bloods, who apparently decided to pick up Big Bubba Rogers as their muscle. The Invaders, which is Ric Flair, Dean Malenko, and Jake Roberts. I don't know who they're invading. Flair's been in the WCW this whole time, as has Dean Malenko. Sure, the Invaders. And on the stud stable, that's still a thing, which is Arn Anderson, Johnny B. Bad, and Kurosawa. So there's that. There's your stables. Top 100s, we'll look at that now that we're a few years into this. They did have a Monday Nitro that tied their best show ever. Their best show ever coming from 1995. And their best pay-per-view ever was December of 1995, Starrcade 95. So they had one show in 97 that was their top. And then they had a few other Monday Nitros that were up there as well. Looks like you got to go a little bit down to 18th to get to a 1997 pay-per-view, which was uncensored. Top matches: Flair and Pillman in 97 here. Flair defeating Too Cold Scorpio in July, got a 99. Flair defeating Mysterio in June, got a 99. And a few other matches from 1997 on there. Top 100 attendances: Starrcade coming in at number 3 with 58,740 people attending. But the show only got a 72, so that's not going to look good for him. And then buy rates. Their highest buy rate in WCW in 1997 was a 0.25. So they must have really dropped their pay-per-view providers, because they went from all the way up there with pay-per-view buy rates all the way down to a 0.25. Their pay-per-view providers must have dropped off a cliff at this point. Still at war with WWF. At war with Smoky Mountain Wrestling, apparently. WCW has had a quite positive review of New Japan, but New Japan absolutely hates WCW, so that's weird. ECW has had war declared on them, and then BCW, Border City Wrestling, is working pretty decently with them, I guess. Feuds right now: Savage and the Giant going at it, Hogan and Luger going at it, and Road Warrior Animal and Arn Anderson going at it. News that's going to probably have way too much stuff in there. Vampire Warrior got hired by WCW, though, so Gangrel is known as Blackheart Destruction and is working in WCW now. Sure, why not? Virgil's still working with WCW because, of course, he is. I'm just trying to look more at the hires or the people leaving, because Scott Norton left WCW. Not sure. Oh, Scott Norton's in WWF now. Well, that's something. Something kind of crazy. Wolfie D got hired by WCW. Jeff Jarrett went back to WCW in this save. He's exclusively with WCW now. Barry Windham, Jacques Rougeau, Triple. Hey, wait a minute here. You can't steal Triple H. We've already done that. Triple H going to WCW in this. Shane Helms, Jesus Castillo for some reason. Charles Robinson, Taz. Taz went to WCW. This was after they went to large size too, so they went on this big hiring spree after they went up to large size. Brian Lee. This person left WCW. I guessing they were probably only there for a short while. Ron Simmons left WCW. I'm guessing he probably went to WWF. Yep. He went to exclusively to WWF. He's known as Ron Simmons there, too. He's not known as Farouk. So there's that. Neidhart, who probably went to WWF. Yeah. Next, was he a former... Oh, he's just former television champion in WCW. So that's probably why he dropped that belt, because it was about the time that he left. Yeah. D'Lo Brown got hired by WCW exclusively. So that's interesting. So did Brian Christopher. Wait, Brian Christopher? Huh. All right. Brian Christopher is exclusively in WCW now. Kurt Hennig. Okay. I saw WCW found guilty, and I thought it was a scandal of some sort, but no, it's just them, their pay-per-view that they ran, apparently. And then not really much else surprising in WCW at this point. When it comes to news-wise, just a lot of people extending their deals. So there's that. That's WCW. Still being run by Kevin Sullivan. Hogan's still the figurehead. We'll look at WWF now. So WWF, touring the company-wise, Undertaker, top guy. Then Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Psycho Sid. Their top 5 in the Attitude Era of WWF. The game auto changed it to the Attitude Era with the logo and with the product. The product automatically changed to the Attitude Entertainment product. So it's going to be interesting to see how these, well, to be fair, Taker, Hart, and Michaels were there during at least part of the Attitude Era, although many say that the it was after the screw job that the Attitude Era really started. Well, Michaels and Taker were there for the Attitude Era. But it'll be interesting to see how Diesel is there. And Psycho Sid. There's that. But they are number 1 in the world. They have $146 million. They're just not spending their money at all. They're just continuing to gain money and just not spending it at all. Popularity 96 across the U.S. Just absolutely dominated. Let's look at championships. So the Intercontinental Champion is currently Eddie Guerrero. Good job, Eddie Guerrero, which, to be fair, we kind of saw when we were looking at the British Bulldogs matches. But Eddie Guerrero, you're an Intercontinental Champion in 1997, which makes sense, honestly. 97 started with Henry O. Godwin as the champion. Then Ahmed Johnson won it. Jerry Lawler, Bam Bam Bigelow won it for a second time. And then Yokozuna won it. Yokozuna won the Intercontinental Championship. Interesting. And then Eddie Guerrero won it from him. King of the Ring was Eddie Guerrero. Interesting. Also, maybe I just didn't look at it last time, but I didn't realize The Undertaker won the King of the Ring. That's kind of funny. But yeah, that's really interesting. Eddie Guerrero, King of the Ring winner. Royal Rumble winner was The Undertaker. Undertaker finally won a Royal Rumble in 1997. Women's champion. This person. Chaparita Asari. I probably butchered the name, but WWF in 1997-1998 is becoming an international women's division company. Because, let's see. Alundra Blaze had the championship, and then Debbie Combs, Terry Power, Alundra Blaze won it, and then Hisuku Mita won it. Miho Watabe won it, and then Mita won it back, and now Asari is the champion. So the better half of 1997 has been just all international talent coming in and being the women's champion. Tag team champions are the Steiner brothers, actually, despite the matches we saw there. 97 started off with 1, 2, 3 Kid and Road Warrior Hawk. And then the Steiner brothers won it from them. Then Kid and Hawk won the titles back. Then Bulldog and Eddie Guerrero held them for a while. And then Owen Hart and Diamond Dallas Page won them for 2 weeks before they dropped them to the Guns, who then dropped them back to 1, 2, 3 Kid and Road Warrior Hawk, who then dropped them back to the Steiner brothers. And then the world champion, as we saw there, is The Undertaker. Undertaker was the champion starting in 1997, and now he's the champion starting in 1998. In between, though, Shawn Michaels won the belt from him, and then Bret Hart won it at WrestleMania, I believe, and held it up until September when Taker won it back. So, very interesting stuff there. Let's look at the stables really quick, just because why not? $1 Million Corporation's still a thing. Oh, so 1, 2, 3 Kid and Road Warrior Hawk are part of the $1 Million Corporation, which, by the way, does not have Ted DiBiase in it. 1, 2, 3 Kid, King Kong Bundy, and Road Warrior Hawk are the $1 Million Corporation right now. So that's something. The Body Donnas, which is the Body Donnas with Goldust. Okay. We have The Cell, which is Al Snow, Jerry Lawler, and Yokozuna. That is a certainly interesting trio right there. I got nothing on that one. Then we have The Crew, which of course is Bret Hart, Diamond Dallas Page, Men on a Mission, and Ron Simmons. That sounds amazing, honestly. That truly sounds like an amazing group. I really want to see that in real life. Could you imagine seeing Men on a Mission, Ron Simmons, Diamond Dallas Page, and Bret Hart in a group together? That sounds amazing. In 1997-98? That sounds amazing. I mean, they could have used a better name, but still, that sounds amazing. I really want that. After that surprising bit there, Top 100, their highest show of all time was a Monday Night Raw in 97, which got a 97 rating. Then they also had a few Raws up there, and they're in their house, which is their highest rated pay-per-view ever, which got a 96. Well, tied for their highest rated pay-per-view ever, because so did WrestleMania 13, and so did Survivor Series 96. So, interesting stuff there, and in your house February 97 as well. So I'm wondering why in your house the April one got the nod then, if WrestleMania 13 and the In Your House in February also had 96 ratings, but whatever. Top 100 matches. Number 2 all time, Taker defeating Bret Hart to a 100 rating. They have had 19 100 rated matches in WWF in the history. And I'm going to go on a limb while I look at this really quick. Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to go on a limb. Okay, so almost right. Of the 19, 18 of the 19 are feature Bret Hart in it. The only one that doesn't is Razor Ramon defeating Jeff Jarrett at In Your House in September of 95, which got a 100 rating. Every other 100 rated matchup features Bret Hart. So, absolutely killing it, Bret Hart is right now. Good God. The highest attended show of all time in WWF so far was 97,000 people attending the Survivor Series of this year. Holy cow. Good Lord. 97,000 people attending a pay-per-view that wasn't WrestleMania. My God. Not only that, but 97,000 people attending it in 1997. That's insane. And pay-per-view buy rates, they have more success than WCW at this point. Their highest pay-per-view buy rate show was WrestleMania 13, getting a 7.05. Good Lord. Apparently, Border City Wrestling has a good relationship with WCW and WWF, because Border City Wrestling is accepting developmental workers from WWF now. For some reason, WWF absolutely hates ECWA. They have a friendly attitude with ECW, a hostile attitude with SMW, a very interesting friendly attitude with USWA, and they've agreed not to steal workers from each other. So that's why they haven't taken Austin then. That is literally the reason why they haven't taken Austin. Because they have a deal with USWA to not steal workers from each other, and Austin's working in USWA. So if they were to drop that, I guarantee you they would be signing Stone Cold immediately. Or if Stone Cold was to ever leave, well, sorry, Steve Austin, because he might not be officially Stone Cold in this, but if Steve Austin was to ever leave the USWA, he would go to WWF pretty much immediately. So that's why. That's very interesting. A agreement with the United States Wrestling Association is the reason why we are not getting Stone Cold in the Attitude Era of WWF in this. And of course, their war with WCW. Feud-wise, really quick, it's just Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. That's it. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels having a feud. No other feuds in WWF at this time. News-wise, we'll look really quick. Mr. Hughes got hired on. Balls Mahoney got hired on. So did Jim Neidhart. Tommy Dreamer got hired on. Harvey Whippleman left WWF, apparently. He's just unemployed. Rocky Maivia got hired The Warlord got hired in 1997 as a wrestler. There's that, I guess. Ron Simmons, Scott Norton, Bradshaw, Samu was brought in. We live in a world where Owen Hart is not in the WWF anymore. In August of 1997, he got hired on by All Japan Pro Wrestling. So Owen Hart's wrestling in All Japan right now. That is very interesting to see. Huh. Also, because I just saw that, not only is Owen Hart there, but Chris Benoit is there. I think Chris Benoit was there when he left for there in 96. So Benoit and Owen Hart, two Canadians, working in All Japan right now under exclusive deals. Very interesting. Some more women getting brought in. So not really as crazy of hires as WCW had. More just extending their deals. Very interesting, though. So, that's where we're at in the world around us. We'll take a look at the basic news really quick. Well, that's not what I wanted, but alright. Let's look at 97. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. So 96 ended with Rick Martel going on a hiatus from the wrestling business, and 97 ended with Rick Martel coming back from to wrestling. All right. Oh God, Felino's been jailed for 15 years after being convicted of second-degree murder. Good Lord. Barry Windham returned. So did Rick Rude, 1 Man Gang. Ken Shamrock returned. I didn't realize Shamrock was on a hiatus, but sure, why not? Pat Tanaka was caught in possession of soft drugs. Tisk tisk. See what other news happened in 97. Company news. SMW fell to small size. Omega had to cancel a show in December. Omega does not have a whole lot of people, so they've been canceling their last 4 shows. They may end up having to. They may end up having a problem. They might not be able to keep their company going at this point. CWA also was canceling shows there. They're canceling a bunch of their touring shows as well. New Japan and WCW just ended their trading agreement in November there. New Japan fell to medium size, so New Japan is struggling a little bit. We'll take a quick look at that. New Japan is struggling. They're down to 6th. They are struggling. Their popularity's been going down. They've been losing some popularity. Kind of surprising. Shono's still there. Fujinami, Jushin Liger, Sasaki, and Terry Gordy. Interesting. I'm not sure why they're falling so much, but they're falling. Oh boy. ECW has lost $675,000 due to financial mismanagement by their accountants. That's weird. I didn't realize Paul Heyman was one of their accountants in ECW. I'm sorry, but that was too good. That was too good there. So ECW losing some money because of their accountants. Very interesting. I don't know why they changed theirs from extreme hardcore to high flying hardcore, but sure, why not? You remember in July of 97 when they were high flying hardcore? There's that. Any new companies? Omega opened up in 97 and has been pretty much dropping every single show that they have. And then OVW officially opened up in August of 97. Owner-wise, nothing happened. Head booker-wise, Jerry Lawler, that is, stepped down, and Jerry Jarrett took over. And then Bruce Hart became the booker of Omega, and CWA is now looking for a booker as well. Any retirements? A bunch of retirements here. Let's see, in 97, William Shatner retired, so that's obviously the biggest one here. Max Muscle retired. What the heck? All right. Oh, due to injury. Max Muscle got injured and retired. Leilani Kai retired. Mae Young retired, as did Fabulous Moolah. Dick Slater retired. Bob Orton Jr. retired. Bruno Sammartino officially retired. So there's that. Any deaths? Just Sheik Adnan. Just him. Just the one. Marty Jannetty and Tim Whitehead are going at it with each other, apparently. They do not get along. So there's that, apparently. You know, for 1997, that's actually pretty accurate. That's pretty damn accurate. Maybe a little early, but that's pretty damn accurate. No, not Sasuke. Not Kensu Saki. Blah. I cannot talk right now, but not these two. That's disappointing. Tiger Ali Singh has somebody. There's that. I guess. Any big injuries? A lot of injuries, but Rhino's injured. Rhino did get injured for a while. Steve Armstrong got injured for a while. Steve Corino. Oh God, Steve Corino suffered a semi-severed spinal column. Yeah, he's probably going to be retiring at this point. Kind of hard in game. It's kind of hard to come back from that, so that sucks for him. Laparca, minor psychosis, minor one. Yeah, that's about right. Ahmed Johnson getting injured. That sounds about right. Oof. Yeah, that might be part of the reason why New Japan started going downhill. Because Fujinami was out for a year and 2 months. That might be why New Japan started going downhill. Because they lost one of their big stars. Oof. Alex Wright did a depressed cranial fracture. He's out for a year. Yikes. It's Vampiro. Good lord. Everybody's getting severe injuries in this. Vampiro's out for a year. Matt Hardy is out for a year. Holy cow. Why are all these major injuries happening? Matt Hardy, who is one half of the Omega Tag Champions, by the way, is out for a year. I think that's the reason why Omega keeps having to cancel out all the time. Good lord. Some big injuries in that in 1997 there. Yeah, it's just going to be all that. I wasn't sure if it was like the broadcasters that closed up shop or anything like that. They still opened up a new school. All right, so that's a look at 1997. A lot of crazy things happening. The biggest one, in my opinion, out of all of the ones that we saw, the biggest one, in my opinion, is Steve Austin not being able to go to WWF because of an agreement with the USWA. It's kind of a big deal. obviously some other big ones there as well. But yeah, very crazy. So next time we touch base with this series, we will have 1998 in the books, where we will have to see if Bret Hart can keep it up as the Wrestler of the Year. We'll have to see if WWF can keep it up as the Company of the Year, or if they end up getting taken over by WCW. Not sure, but they are. I mean, we saw their popularity was starting to slip a little bit, so maybe, but I doubt it. We'll have to see how everything else plays out for sure. But thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are continuing to like this series. I'm having fun with it. It's kind of crazy to look at how TEW is booking the Monday Night Wars here, especially with some of the crazy stuff that's been happening in this. But yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out in 1998. But thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.